So, all right, guys. Well, happy Sunday. Happy August 1st. How did that happen? You like blink and all of a sudden the summer's like, we're going into our third month. We're 30 days from our Dallas event. And that's no surprise if you've been here for more than a hot second. You've probably heard a thing or two about this big event, the Super Bowl of Q, the pinnacle of what we've really been working towards in the last, I would consider the 2.5 years that I've been here, what we've been building to, the refined, attractive company that Q Sciences is today. There's no better time to be taking a look at this. And so we're streaming this into the team page. I'm also recording it just in case that doesn't work, but obviously getting this information out sooner than later is truly important, because every day leading up to the event is vital. It's crucial, not just for yourself and your own families and really what this business is creating for you, but all the people and everything that I know I wasn't streaming yet, but what Tim was saying, like, we just have so many people who we need to serve. There's no better time to be looking at this. There's no better time to be sharing this opportunity and really getting into the trenches, getting into the action of this business, because events can change everything, and especially what's coming. And that's honestly why I called up my buddy Frank Filippone, who's way more than just a friend, because he's someone that I consider a true mentor in this business. Him and his wife, Marielle, pretty much scooped us up under their wings and said, hey, if you guys see a vision in Q, like, let us show you what we've done to create the business that we have had. And we've just implemented the small things over the last couple years. And we've built from event to event and got cheeks and seats and really just followed their leadership. And I can truly say where our business wouldn't be where it is today without them, but it also wouldn't be this way if it wasn't for events. And I know Frank and Marielle are firm believers in that as well. And really the legacies and the business that they've been able to build, not just in the last 3.5 years, but their 8+ years in this industry. And so Frank, I couldn't pick anyone better to come on, talk to the team, and really prepare us mentally. Share your inside scoop of really how did you get your teams there? Any sort of tips and tricks leading into the events. I really just would love for us to lean into your guys' expertise, your leadership, and just learn now so we can prep for the next 30-35 days. So I'll pass it over to you, my friend, out there in Park City, Utah.
All right. Yeah. Thank you so much. Before I start doing my thing, I truly do want to thank you, Catie. You and Ben are just not only great friends, but a pleasure to, I guess you'd say, coach. I can now call myself a coach in this industry. I've been doing it long enough and had enough success, and not only with ourselves, but with people like yourselves on our team. So it's great to be doing this with you guys, and I really appreciate you asking me to be on today. So, okay, everybody. Hello, I'm Frank Filippone, as Catie said. 10 years ago, if you would have asked me to speak on why I thought this was important, why conference was important, I'd be like, what conference? Who cares? Who cares about network marketing? I was a road construction guy, never saw the value in not only what network marketing had to offer financially for people, but it even took me a while after being involved in network marketing to see what network marketing had to offer for people outside of even their own bank account. Let's rewind, 40 some odd years. I was born and raised in San Diego. My parents divorced when I was like 6 or 7 years old. Just went through a terrible divorce, constantly in and out of court, fighting over, who got more time to see the kids and, who got them on this Saturday and this holiday. And we were constantly being shuffled around according to what the court said that my parents had to do with their kids. And it sucked being a kid. And I always told myself, and I know my brother and sister feel the same way because they had to go through the same thing. But I told myself I was never going to get married until I found the right person that I knew I would last through time with, because I never wanted to put my kids through what I was going through. Both my parents worked full time, making sure, because each of them had to pay their own bills at their own house. Both of them missed multiple soccer games, multiple baseball games. They were there for the very important stuff, which thank God, because that's really, my parents did have a lot of love for us. Don't get me wrong, but they had to supply it. They had to provide money. So, there was many nights where I'd finish a soccer practice and there was nobody there to pick me up. And, my coach would have to be sitting with me until my mom or my dad showed up, sometimes up to an hour late, to pick me up after a practice because they were stuck at work, because they had to be at work. And if I ever had to sit down and write out a why as to why I'm doing this business, it would be because I am never going to do that to my kids. There's still something that makes me want to cry every time I see a little kid sitting alone at one of my kids' soccer practices. And there's been times when we've sat there with that kid till their parents got there. I don't even know them, because I remember what it was like. And I told myself I was never going to go there. So ultimately, all my life's decisions came from not wanting to be, like, I always wanted a family, but I never wanted them to go through what I had to go through. So now fast forward, through the high school years, maybe after I graduate, I go to college, had no idea what I wanted to do. I had nobody to show me and take me by the hand and be like, hey, look, if you want to be successful, here's a few tips. What do you want to be? It was just kind of like all my friends were going to college. By the way, the high school I went to was a private school. It was a private Catholic school in San Diego that cost thousands and thousands of dollars a year. My parents couldn't afford it. But because I did get good grades throughout my junior high years, I was actually able to get a scholarship to that high school. And I was going with the elite kids of San Diego. I'm talking 16th birthday, the girls were getting brand new convertible BMWs, all the nicest clothes. None of them had jobs. Every break we got, they were all, it was a group trip. Their parents would send them to a cabin in Tahoe or to Europe for the summer. And I never got to experience any of that. And it drove me nuts, because while my friends were out having a good time, I was stuck flipping pizzas at Pizza Hut all through high school just to be able to afford my car insurance and to put gas in my car so I could hang out with my friends. My friends would come and I have to make pizza for them on Friday nights, Saturday nights, when they were going all to go to the parties. And I'm stuck in there, little grease ball zits all over my face. And just working, because that's what I had to do. That's all I knew. I never had anybody like these kids had to show them the world. And I always told myself my kids were going to see the world. So now go to college. Yeah, I go to San Diego State for 1 year. I did show up every single day. I'd probably smoke a little bit of weed on the way there, and I'd sit there out in the hallways and I'd smoke cigarette after cigarette after cigarette, just watching the girls, talking with my friends. I'd go in to take the test and I'd fail most of them. But at the end of the year, they kicked me out. Imagine that. So you can see where my life was headed. I had nothing going for me. I had no mentors. My parents were too busy just trying to pay bills to take me under their wing and show me what I should and shouldn't be doing. So luckily I ended up in road construction, and it made me a very good living. I'm sure many of you guys have heard my story. I was at the top of the pay scale. After 10 years of doing it, I did it for almost 18 years. By the time I finished, I wasn't making any more money. I had progressed 18 years and went from nothing to making a lot and still having nothing, because there was nobody in road construction that was taking me under their wing and trying to show me how to be better at road construction. Because if I got better than them, if they taught me how to be a businessman and know what I was doing, they know that I was just going to take the business from them. I'll go start my own. So in the business world, there's a lot of people out there just trying to hold you down. That's not good. That's not good at all. So either way, we stumble into network marketing. My wife has a very, very quick success with it because she's coachable. We're both very hard workers. We owned 3 Pilates studios in San Diego. We had a goal of franchising those businesses out. So we had a business mindset already, but we still had nobody helping us financially. With mentorship, we were doing it all by the seat of our pants, went through lawsuits, went through employees like crazy because employees don't care. But what we learned was that our businesses that we owned really owned us. And what we were trying to do was create leverage for ourselves by opening more and more studios. But each one we opened not only cost us a fortune, but you can't be there to run each of those studios. So if you're not there, you're just paying out all this money. And the studio at the end of the year doesn't really profit much enough to even keep the headache around. So that's when we knew we needed something different. We ended up in network marketing. And I remember the very first conference that my wife dragged me to. It was in Las Vegas. It was with our previous company. She had a couple of our friends that their husbands were coming with their wives. And I talked them into going because, hey guys, it's Vegas. We'll go out and party at night. We'll go play golf during the day. And that's all we did for the very first conference. I made sure I was in the room we had to go in and get some trophy or something. But other than that, I didn't pay attention. I didn't see the value in it. After the second conference I went to was when I realized that the people that were actually paying attention to these things, the people that were actually, there was people there that were getting better from one time I saw them, they were doing nothing. They were just a bum in a t-shirt and a pair of flip-flops. And the next time, maybe they show up in a nice pair of jeans and a collared shirt, and they got a few teammates with them, and they're getting people they're starting to influence because they are reading the 10 pages a day that this industry teaches you. They are doing things to better themselves throughout the year between the conferences. And all the conferences do is solidify what you've built between the conference. So if you guys are following me, it's not only about the conference. It's about the progression of going to this conference, building yourself, show up at next conference, build yourself. You're there at the next conference. Think of what conference provides for people. It's a place where they can go and they get their recognition that they've been working their butt off for the last 6 to 8 months. Think of the people that love going up on stage and just getting a stupid little glass plaque, what it means to them. Think of what it means to them to have the entire crowd cheering for them because they're making $500 a month. It's huge. Think of the people like myself and like Catie and some of the other leaders who are taking pride in growing their team. Like all of the trainings that you get, those things, if there was only one person in the crowd, the training would be half as good, I'm telling you, because we feed off the people that are there and that are soaking up the material we're giving them. It's so much more than just being there to buy the products when they get launched and they're on sale. It's 10 times more than that. Watch what happens when you start missing conferences. It's not just what's going to happen to your team, but watch what happens to you, because the conference is the fuel in our gas tank. We come in there as leaders. You guys pour into us all of your love and everything that you want from us. We get to give back to you. And when we leave, we're ready to go kick ass for another 6 months with you. What if we didn't care? This is why everybody needs to be at conference, because it's about progression, constantly getting better. I don't see any names on this call of anybody who knew me back when I was just a road construction guy, but it's because of everything that I learned at all these different conferences built up over the years that turned me into what I am today. This industry and the system that they have in place, there's a reason why there's always conference in September. These guys are smart. They know what they're doing. They know the timing. They know the seasons of business. There's a reason why it's set for that time. It's so that we can all come there and recharge our gas tanks after a long summer, typically the summer months. You guys, if you're new, the momentum you're feeling through this summer, cherish that. Because keeping momentum in a sales company, any type of sales, look at the malls, look at anybody selling products. Summer is always the hardest to build business, and we're crushing it right now. Imagine what's going to happen to your team next month after you and them leave conference, and the excitement and the energy. You use that excitement to carry us through the next season, which is wintertime. Now, there's lots of great things coming this winter that's going to help us keep building our business, but ultimately, it's to charge all of us and all of you so that we have all the energy we need and all the excitement we need to take this to a $200 million plus company this year on our way to $1 billion. Like, that's my goal. And the more people we have at conference bettering themselves, the more people we're going to have bettering themselves at the next conference. And the more people we're going to have doing it the one after that. And everybody's just building themselves to a better place. Our company will be so attractive to people. Everybody's going to want to be like, what are these people doing? They're not just selling products. I remember Frank Filippone 7 years ago. He was an asshole. Look at him now. Look at me. I'm serious. I'm a product of this frigging system. And I don't miss a conference for a reason. So I hope you guys all see the value in what I'm saying here. There's so many things in my life, so many doors that have been opened because I am an absolute believer in this system of what we do weekly, what we do monthly, and then of course, conference, what we do yearly. It's all part of this process. I get to take my kids to school. I'm the first guy in the parking lot waiting there. The moms all drive in and look at me like, what? This is a lucky bastard right there. He's there every day with his kids. I get to go on the field trips. I'm at all their soccer games. I would have never been able to do this if I was still just a cigarette smoking construction guy. But I made the commitment, and it's taken years of going to these conferences to get to where I am. I'm just really glad that you guys are all on here. You get to see me at my most vulnerable, talking about things that I don't necessarily like to talk about in my past, but it's why I'm here. I don't want what I had for my kids. I don't want to be that parent who I don't want to be my dad who knows that he missed all of this stuff, but he had to. He apologizes to me all the time. It's not his fault. He had to support his kids. I don't want to be that. And most of it's because of the stuff that you take home from conference. So with that, I can't wait to see you guys all 1 month from today on the golf course. And then a month from tomorrow, we're going to start all the training and all the good stuff. So I love you guys. And I hope this was something that added value. And
Oh, 100%. I'm pretty sure I got a couple messages like 2 minutes in saying, well, I'm crying already. Well, I was crying too, Frank. So thank you for bringing the real, the raw. It's one of the reasons why I wanted you on here. I knew you weren't just going to give us like a list of to-dos and say, oh, get your butts there because we got collagen coming and we got this coming. Because that's stuff
everybody knows that's coming. And the people that don't go will still be able to get collagen. You know what I'm saying? But it's not about that. So
100%. 100%. And even just in the 2 years that we've been here, just seeing every person's progression, even the leadership, you and Marielle level up every time I see you both, which is why like I get eager just to put myself around you guys and excited to see you in like tomorrow.
Yeah, cool. I'm excited too.
To Park City.
That's it.
but truly, guys, to truly echo everything that Frank just said, the conference, and I actually wrote this down before I even hopped on here, just thinking about, why conference? Why do we get ourselves there? Because truly the conference that you miss is the conference that you need. And it's the one that you needed the most. And it's, we talk a lot about getting our teams there and getting people, getting others there, but it's really about just getting yourself there. And so to give you a couple little pieces of just logistics, because some of you may be sitting on this call thinking, okay, well, I've never even heard of this event. Like, what is it? When is it? Now I want to go. Are there tickets? And so let me actually screen share just the schedule of events, because planning is key. We're not going to be able to scramble on the 31st of August to get your butt to conference. But if we do take some steps now, you will get there. If there's a will, there's a way. Even though the event is sold out, I know if there's a will, there's a way. So number one, ask around, ask myself. There's people who can't attend now, so there are tickets available, and all that kind of good stuff. This is kind of the shuffle. If there's a will, there's a way, and we will find you a ticket. That is my commitment to you. But to plan and actually know what's happening, this is on Q News. I just grabbed this flyer off. Jackie posted it. Because if you guys are planning, Frank mentioned golf. There is a charity golf event on Wednesday the 1st. And there's a place where you can register as a golfer, and there's a place that you can register as a spectator. All money is going to go to some sort of nonprofit. I don't know the name of it. Personally, it could have been announced, but Q Sciences puts a lot of just extra dollars towards great causes. And that's one of the reasons why I'm so proud of this company, is because it's always looking for a way to give back. And that's what that golf event's going to do. But if you're also kind of thinking what I'm thinking, with it being in almost like a pre-event, this is really where you get access to the owners, to the corporate side of Q Sciences, and just have real conversations and have special moments where those relationships are people in a room versus maybe a few hundred people around a golf course. And they're, I don't know the right terminology. I should know. My husband's getting really into golf right now, but just like that venue, that clubhouse where the food and all the activities around the actual round and the actual game is being played, that's really where I've had some of these breakthrough moments in my business, is just through these conversations where you're just real, you're honest, it's off the cuff. You get to really ask what you want to ask. And so if you're planning on coming in, and you're planning on coming in Wednesday, come in a little early and just come hang out. And so that's all in the back office. There is early registration on Wednesday. Thursday is really where things pick up as far as for bronzes and above. And so if you're a VIP ticket holder, this also is where your events and where your conference and your convention starts, is going to be on that Thursday with Bronze Academy. And so VIP tickets are bronze and higher. And then we have what we go into in that evening, we go to a silver dinner. So that's going to be for VIP tickets holders, or for silvers and higher. And it's a really unique dinner experience with the owners, with our corporate side, honoring and recognizing the advisory councils and the equity councils and employees of the year. It's a very touching part of conference that I just am so honored to get to experience and be a part of. And so if you guys are even kind of tracking what I'm saying, like, oh, you can be a part of those things if you're not a bronze or a silver, because VIP option is still available for registration. You can upgrade your ticket at any time, but I know they're closing that pretty fast. So that's going to be Thursday. The main event starts on Friday, Saturday. And that's really the meat and potatoes around convention. It's the thick of the training topics. It's the ton of recognition. And around those events, you're going to learn a whole lot. You're going to really be a part of the releases of all the products. And then the event's going to close down Saturday night. And of course, around that Friday, Saturday, we'll give you, if there's any, because I know we're planning it, there's just not set in stone just yet. We always do some sort of team party. And I know there's something in the works as well. And that's usually on a Friday night or Saturday night. So don't leave convention. If you can fly out Sunday morning, fly out, because you don't want to miss once the event's over. It's kind of like this kind of like pinnacle of just celebration and excitement of what the whole weekend's really meant. And so that's a little bit of the schedule. Of course, there's logistics behind it, but I will just kind of say this. If you haven't got a ticket yet, get it. Don't get wrapped up in how am I going to get there, even if that's the challenge. We realize it comes with navigating kids' schedules. It comes with navigating work schedules. It comes with a financial commitment of airfare, most likely, and hotels and all of that. I can attest for how our leadership feels so strongly about this event is if you want to get there, we'll figure it out with you. And it's not up to you just to figure it out on your own. Reach out to us and let us know like where you're at, what your needs are, and let us work with you to make this happen. Because there's not just one, there's always handfuls of stories of, the airfares and sleeping, the sleeping arrangements and just figuring it out, because you being there matters so much more than just like, the plush, cush, comfy logistics of it all. But outside of those logistics, like I said, just reach out to your team, let us work with you on that. And if you have accommodations and everything figured out, let your leadership know as well, just so we know that you're there, you're on track, you're attending, because I know we do like to do fun things around everyone who's getting themselves out to conference, and we want to make sure that you're accounted for beyond just, knowing you have a ticket. We want to know that you're committed and you're going to be there. Because truly everything that Frank said is so dang true. About just what those events will do, how it will change you, just the belief and even what this vehicle can do. I'll actually never forget our first event. It was a bronze academy. It wasn't even a convention, and you had to be bronze to attend it. And I knew in my gut that I needed to get to that event, and I had to figure out how to go bronze because I really had no idea what I was doing. I was just flying by the seat of my pants. But I knew that being around the environment and around the people would either give me the vision for the long term and put that fire under our pants of what really this opportunity can do for our family. And I honestly had no idea what I was showing up to. So we earned it. We got out there. We knew no one. Actually, I remember bumping Frank in front of the elevator, and he was like, hi. I was like, it's Frank Filippone. He didn't know. Ben and I were like fangirling and fanboying over him. But it just, having like real conversations with people we just had so much respect for, because they were these leaders in the company. And then all of a sudden you're talking to someone and they're literally who you are, but they're a couple months ahead. They're 6 months ahead. They're, a year ahead, just because they saw it a little bit early, and you're like, holy cow, if they can do it, why can't we? And I say this to people all the time still, that the only reason we are where we are is we've just been here a little bit longer. We've allowed ourselves to grow in the system that Frank talked about. And I actually had to pause and reflect just the other day, because I didn't even realize how much our lives have changed. When Frank was talking about being married to your business and it really controlling all aspects of your life, and you're a slave to it, that was Ben and I 2.5 years ago. And now Ben's, no joke, in Arizona playing in this big regional golf tournament, which we honestly didn't have to like think twice about. It was kind of like rearranging a couple pieces of our schedule, and it was like, get on a plane, go have fun. Now the dude's about to play second and go to like a national, tournament. And it's all because we have time freedom to pursue more of what we want. We have the time freedom to be home with Colton. We don't have to be, CrossFit, 7 days a week, eat, breathe, sleep, run the highs and lows, the emotional roller coaster of our traditional business, because we just have options now, guys. And so if you're feeling like you need that freedom for yourself, whether it be from your 9 to 5 or from your business, or just having options outside of just your family, like this is the place. And I literally cannot wait for you guys to really find that belief and find kind of like that moment to where you see what's possible for you by attending the event. And so we're just going to kind of wrap this up. Recording is broadcasted in the team page, so tag away. It's going to be available any second. Reach out to us if you need a ticket. Reach out to us if you're trying to figure out how to get there. Don't feel like you're on an island trying to do all the logistics yourself. And let's just put our heads down and work crazy hard leading into the event, because summer, like Frank said, it's not the easiest, but holy cow, if you have a little bit of momentum, under our feet going into the fall, it's about to get crazy. So thank you, Frank. By the way, love your shirt. I noticed it midway. That's our Jimmy's representing, guys. Makes me proud.
A little shameless, what do they call it?
Shameless plug or something like
Shameless
that.
plug. Yeah.
Of course.
Well, thanks for having me, Catie. I appreciate it. You're awesome. See you soon.
Okay, see you tomorrow, Frank. Bye, guys.